Welcome to this week's Fowl Friday Tip of the Week, brought to you by HP Outdoors. Here's your hosts, Josh Palm and Dan Harushka.
Hey everybody, it's Josh and Dan, and we're back with another Fowl Friday Quick Tip of the Week. This week we're talking about something that has come up a lot on social media lately, so we figured we'd weigh in and give you our thoughts on it, and that's breathable versus neoprene waders. We thought we would take kind of a pros and cons approach towards this topic, and as someone who made the switch to a breathable wader this year for the first time, we thought it'd be appropriate that I would take on that. So from a positive perspective of breathable waders, there's some really distinct advantages that they do give you over neoprene. The first being, in my opinion, they are without question more comfortable. They're less bulky. I just find myself feeling like I'm wearing just a normal set of pants, not a restricted, feel that I get with a heavy neoprene wader. The second thing is they offer fantastic flexibility. You can wear the same pair of waders from September all the way through February and still serve your purpose. The final thing is, breathable waders are kind of something that's been fairly new as far as for the waterfowl application. So because of that, waterfowl hunters are able to benefit from fantastic research and just innovative and edge, on the front edge of product development, materials like Gore-Tex and things like that can be used for waders and things. Just as a fantastic advantage over just, the tried and sort of traditional methods of neoprene. As far as your drawbacks and the cons to a breathable wader, one of the positives was greater flexibility. One of the drawbacks is obviously when it gets cold out and the water gets cold, you need to layer up underneath the waders to make sure that you get enough of that insulation that you need to stay warm throughout the day. Another challenge that you'll find is that it can be tough to find a breathable wader with an integrated boot if that's something that you like because you have a history of wearing neoprene waders. There are several options out there, but they're not nearly as abundant as what you're going to see obviously with neoprene waders. Another thing that you're going to find with these boots is that the insulation, it's tough to find them, at 1600 gram to insulate and things like that you're used to seeing with neoprene waders. So you may need to take a different approach and layer with your socks and things like that a little bit differently, but there are still options out there that can help you get through any temperatures of the season. The last thing that I'll say is a con is probably something that everybody listening to this right now that has not tried a breathable wader has going through their mind. It's the fear. It's the fear of putting $200 or $300 into a pair of waders, and come November, December, you're sitting in the blind and you're freezing cold and you're shivering and you're regretting your decision. I can promise you, if you layer properly, a breathable wader can in fact last you the entire year. So even if you hunt in the north in the cold temperatures, if you layer properly and you approach it from that perspective, you can in fact have a lot of benefits from the flexibility of a breathable wader. But again, they aren't for everybody, and there may be no convincing you. But for my opinion, that's kind of my stance on the breathable wader. Dan, what do you think when it comes to the neoprene side of the house?
I would have to say that I fall into that category of having a little bit of fear of going to the breathable, but my next pair probably will be in that category. But let's talk a little bit of pros of the neoprene. One, they are warmer without layering. So, once you put those on, it doesn't matter what time of year, you know what you're going to get, whether that's good or bad. The durability of them, some people have stories that aren't so good. I have a pair of Drake waders that have a little extra material on the knees and the butt. I have no trouble going through brush or worrying about logs that are under the water. Another thing, sometimes they're more form-fitting, so if you're in a current or anything of that sort, you're going to get a little more buoyancy and it's a little more streamlined, so that might help you out. The cons of it, you can't take any of it away, so if it is in the summertime or early fall, you're going to get hot. If you're in the 5mm, it's going to get pretty toasty, so that's something that is not very desirable. Another thing, they are, they're tough to walk a long distance in. If they're a little bit tight, or if you do have a little bit of layering under it, or if the snow's up to your knees, they're not that flexible, and you might have a little bit of a tough time. Another thing, if you go on a multi-day trip, you have to make sure that those waders are dry the next morning, and that's something that's always a pain. I always take a box fan with us when we go to Maryland, but that's something that you don't have to worry as much with the breathable wader.
So whether you're a tried and true neoprene guy or you're interested in looking at something different and entertaining a breathable wader, there's a lot of options out there. Keep an open mind, and you can definitely be happy with either one, so long as you know what you're looking for.
Looking for more waterfowl hunting tips and techniques? Visit hpoutdoors.com or subscribe to the HP Outdoors Waterfowl podcast on iTunes.